we did is it a successful season? And it absolutely has been.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way of saying it hasn't been. And I don't think you can, put this season in the failure category at all. Even if they don't win on Sunday night, it was still a success. So, how has it changed my outlook? It hasn't. It has.
Really?
Well, I mean, this is the next progression.
Okay.
I expected them to progress to this level this year. So my outlook is about the same. They need to get another great player to pair with Luka. We all know that, right? This is not the end product. This whole we love our boys in blue crap's got to end. We like Jalen Brunson. Yeah, we like, Dorian and Reggie, and we like all those. You have to move on from some of these guys. You have to get better ones. Better versions of them. You have seen the evolution of this team is quite simple. Luka is amazing. Pair him with somebody who is also amazing, and they need to do that. So has it changed my outlook? No. This is exactly where I expected them to be: win a first-round playoff series and lose in the second round. Right now, they're going to be an underdog on the road in a place they haven't really looked good in the previous 3 games. So this is exactly where I expected them to be this season. Has it changed your outlook a lot?
I think it has changed my outlook on this team, and I'll tell you why. Coming into this postseason, I thought, look, if the Mavericks can win a playoff series, I think this will change the perception on how teams and, more importantly, players will view Luka Doncic and this organization moving forward as a real possible championship contender within the next 2 years. And now, if you find a way to upset Phoenix on the road against the best team in the league that was 8 games clear of the next best team in this league, and you move on to the Western Conference Finals with this 23-year-old superstar and this cast, that to me signals to around the league for players that they may feel like they're the one guy or two that can help put the Mavericks over the top. And more importantly, Luka Doncic has now proven that he can win and win deep into the playoffs, which I think is huge for any budding superstar with the talent and what we think he's going to be for the remainder of his career, that could be a position for him to attract other guys around the league. I was talking to Richard Jefferson a couple of days ago.
Look at this. Say, another guy doesn't text me back. Did you ask about that?
I didn't know that you and RJ had a thing in that way.
Us RJ stick together.
Oh, well, clearly not, because,
Okay. Yeah, so that's the 2 in a row. 2 times in a row. I had texted him. No response.
Oh, well, maybe you need to come see me, Chop, and I maybe hook you up. Maybe I need to hook you up. But he was telling me the other day, he said, look, it isn't that players don't love the city of Dallas. They love the city of Dallas. They love everything that Dallas, presents. No state income tax, all the things, the nightlife, all the things that Dallas presents as a city, players love. What they haven't seen is evidence that this team can win and win deep into the playoffs, and obviously they haven't done it in 11 years. Like, players want to come here, but there hasn't been the kind of evidence to suggest that the Mavericks can be a destination where they can do the kind of winning that paired and coupled with everything that comes with Dallas that they would want to be able to enjoy here. So to me, that's huge when a former NBA player, former Dallas Maverick himself, former NBA champion Richard Jefferson is like, hey, it's not about the city. It's not about the organization itself. Like, players want to play for a guy like Mark Cuban. It's about this team actually doing the kind of winning that they haven't done in 11 years. And if that changes based on what has happened this postseason, I think you could see how this team becomes a real spot for guys to come play.
I didn't think of that. It's interesting about how this would change, if it does change, how they want to come here, or if they want to come here. It's always the thing I've never understood. I've never understood. And but that's the other, don't give me this thought, Richard, that like we haven't seen and shown that you can win here. I mean, what they do during Dirk's tenure? Well, they were winning 50 games a year for a decade and a half, and it never mattered. They never got free agents.
Mm-hmm.
What did they get? They overpaid for Rafe LaFrance. Whoa. Yeah, they got Eric Dampier. Championship. They had to overpay for guys that didn't deserve the money. Like, that was it. Like, you know what the Mavs were doing? They were doing the Mike Conley thing. When Mike Conley was never a $40 million a year guy, right? He got that bag.
Yeah.
But that's what they had to do. I wonder if it changes now.
I will say, I don't know. I think that type of player during Dirk's time, when he was winning 50 games a year, competing against the San Antonios, the Lakers, those kinds of teams, a lot of those guys had that old school mentality, like, we're not teaming up here. Kobe wasn't trying to team up, with Dirk. Other guys weren't trying to team up with each other. I think the landscape of the NBA has changed to the point where guys are willing to do what they have to do to go play with guys they want to play with. And if Luka can continue to prove to the rest of the league that not only can I win with guys, like Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, all due respect to those guys, I can be a guy that now comes to this city and play with this superstar and win going forward. Because here's one thing about Luka and how players view him around the league, and now that other guys like Spencer Dinwiddie are here, they're going to talk glowingly about not just the organization, but what Luka is as a player and what that means for the development and the growth of other guys' games when they come play with him. That's huge around the league for guys to be able to feel that way with other players who have been in different situations, like Spencer Dinwiddie, for example, in Washington. Terrible situation there. He has loved every minute of playing with this organization, specifically because he knows he's playing with a guy like Luka, and now he can tell other guys around the league, hey, man, this thing in Dallas, it's legit. Reggie Bullock, he talked about the difficult situation they had in New York. It's night and day here with the Mavericks. Another guy that could go around like, hey, man, he's got a lot of respect around the league. Hey, man, this Dallas thing is real down here. Like, that matters, and regardless of what happens on Sunday, I think the perception of that has changed when it comes to that.
Maybe it has, and if it has, then the Mavs will get somebody, but they need that too. They need that true two, and I don't mean KP kind of two, or Dinwiddie or Brunson kind of two. I mean like that Anthony Davis kind of two. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving kind of two.
Yeah,
I'm not saying go get Kyrie Irving. Okay, I'm not saying go get. Although if we had Kyrie this year, he'd have played 70 games.
Yeah,
he'd have been able to at least. That'd have been good. But they need to get that other. The problem they're going to run into is that Luka is a ball-dominant player. You can't get somebody who also needs to be a ball-dominant player. That's why Kemba Walker was never going to be a fit here with Luka. I would love to get Dame, but is Dame going to be the right kind of fit here with Luka? Right? Would he? You need somebody like a Joker or an Embiid or an Anthony Davis or somebody that could play off the ball.
Yeah. And I know with the record of when it comes to, Dirk saying that, Kobe tried to recruit him to come to L.A. Yeah, as Kobe was getting later into his career, obviously, with what was going on and those kinds of things in L.A. But I'm saying that was very rare. It's not like these guys, a lot were clamoring to play with each other. You had rare instances where guys looked at each other around the league and said, hey, I might want to play with him. But guys weren't actively the way that they do are. Like, it's a different day in the NBA versus how guys want to play with each other versus how they did, 10, 12 years ago. You'll have the occasional, Kobe, why not try to recruit Dirk to come?
Sure, why not?
To L.A. But that
Dirk wasn't going to affect how Kobe played his game. Right? Because Dirk wasn't going to have the ball to be effective. You could get Dirk the ball and he would be effective, but Kobe would still be the primary. The offense still run through him, primary ball, just like Luka. Even though Luka's and Kobe's game is a little bit different, but still, the point is that you would need another player that can be an off the ball kind of guy that could still be effective and still be a star.